There's a whole town next door called Houma, Louisiana. By the way, that's where y'all need to go to. Come from back there and come around and film right here. You have more room. You ain't gotta be worried about it.
Thank you, thank you.
There you go. Follow me like we filming a YouTube video. That way you'll be able to.
I got you.
Now, Houma Native Americans, y'all need to go to Houma, and that's where y'all need to get y'all gumbo from. They got the best gumbo in the state of Louisiana. You eat a bowl of gumbo, you'll be full for 1 week. That's how good that gumbo is. No joke. I'm also gonna send y'all some places after this tour, a list of my recommended places. Y'all, stop eating in the French Quarter. Y'all paying this much money and getting this amount of food that's barely seasoned. I got y'all back, so I'm gonna send y'all to some proper places after the tour where you can pay this much, you get this much. Now, the Houma Native Americans used to use this land to harvest their own corn and do their own religious activities. Who were their arch nemesis? The French. When the French came and colonized, i.e. stole the land from the natives, they pushed all the natives back. And the French brought with them my ancestors, the Congo people of West Africa and the Senegal people of West Africa. When they were brought here, they were forced to go to Catholic Mass. What? Yep. France sent a document here to the new patty known as the Black Code, also known as the Code Noir, a list of laws on how to treat your slaves. One of those laws says that all slaves, remember that's all of us, must be off on Sunday. Why? Because all slaves must be converted to Roman Catholicism. I'm gonna use my magical tour guiding powers. We can make today Sunday. Happy Sunday, y'all. We're off. Come on.
Sunday.
Come over here. Look. There's the cathedral. And do y'all notice there's a path that leads to the cathedral directly to where you're now standing? This is not a coincidence. Mass don't last all day. Unless you go to a Southern Latino mass is gonna last all damn day. But after mass, the slaves will run down the path and hop the wall. They came right here. And where you're standing is where they created everything y'all love about the city of New Orleans. I'm gonna repeat that. Everything y'all love about the city of New Orleans came from black people. The French wrote that down. This is the birthplace of jazz music. A bunch of slaves came together, started. Bam, jazz was born. That's my cousin McKinley. And do y'all know most of the music you listen to came from jazz? Pop, rock and roll, neo soul. Love you, Erykah Badu, you're a goddess. Happy 52nd birthday, by the way. Here's the one they made the guy from Alabama mad, the one they call Africa a Country 3 times. Jazz music gave birth to American country music. Oh yes, it did. And he was hotter than fish grease. Oh, he was mad. That man was so pissed off. All his arms started turning red, and you know I had to poke the snake. I pulled my phone out and pulled up everything I had said to that man. I said, here it is right there. You know what he said? That's fake news.
Oh my gosh. Of course.
I laughed so hard. I looked at that man and I said, see, you people, y'all. I said, sir, let me tell you something about me. I am not a Democrat or Republican. Black people are the same. We vote for the one person who's gonna take away the least amount of our rights. So this assumption of being liberal or conservative or whatever, you can have that. Second of all, we believe in the children, not the adults. Third of all, see that link right there at the bottom of the page? That's what you call a source. That's what you check to make sure the information you're reading is correct. It must be tied to a university study or an anthropological study. And Fox News is not a university. That's when he got pissed off and called me the N-word and marked off. He called me a monkey nigger and then marched right off the tour. God is good. That's okay. His wife handed me a $100 tip.
Hey, there you go.
And y'all, I gotta tell y'all how I love me a Ben Franklin. I put it right in my pocket and had a sushi date for myself that night. Now, I'm not gonna tell y'all the rest of that story. I just want y'all to know that, hey, look, this ain't the one, all right? Now, here's the deal. This area right here is very significant. This area right here is known as the Potomitan. That translates to the center of the ceremony. Most of the voodoo rituals used to take place around this central point. Come here. Come here. Come stand beside me. I'm gonna have you do something. Alrighty, so here's the deal. We don't use this center right here anymore simply because, can you imagine a bunch of my relatives out here, 100 degrees, 100% humidity, deodorant ain't been invented yet, and then they out here trying to dance for God? Yeah, now we do the rituals over there in the shade. So this Sunday, tomorrow, you three, listen, you three. My family's gonna set the drums up over there and we do an ancestor ritual that's been going on since slavery. We haven't stopped 350 something years later. Unless it rains, of course, because the skin of the drums can't get wet. But I'm inviting every last one of y'all to come out here tomorrow to see everything I'm teaching you actually happening in action. 3 p.m. right there under the bushes. Now, the Native Americans used to use this little area right here too, simply because this is where they did their religious activities. Now you'll find offerings here sometimes. Sometimes you'll find money, sometimes you'll find food. This used to be a fountain in the 2000s, and then what happened? Hurricane Katrina. She decided to come on over here and get pissed off. She stole an oak tree from right there, broke the fountain that was right here, and took her behind the Mississippi. So my family just left the fountain out here. but it is significant still because look at the pattern on the ground. This is not a coincidence. This is the Congo dance language. Teach you exactly what arm movements and what steps to take as you're dancing around the the center of the ceremony. They put the Congo dance language on the ground, so if we have another hurricane and the city's underwater, this will be permanently here. Notice how it goes all the way out to form a huge circle around the with the oak trees. My ancestors planted these oak trees. You're looking at my great-great-grandparents right now. They wanted all of us descendants to see them whenever we were born way in the future. These trees are just that old. And for those of you from the South going, I don't know, these trees look kind of young. Yeah, look how many elbows the trees got. Got to keep cutting the oak trees, because if you allow an oak tree to grow, it'll grow all the way down to the ground. It'll tear up everything in the vicinity. So in order to keep the trees from growing out, they cut the elbows and then force the tree to grow up. The oldest one we have is right there, known as the Egun tree, which translates to the ancestor tree. My family's been praying at that one specific tree since slavery. If you've seen the Voodoo YouTube videos, you know that tree, that should be the one. That's the one I did the Voodoo ritual at. That tree is 350 plus years old, and it's not the oldest oak tree we have in the city of New Orleans. The oldest oak tree we have is uptown New Orleans, known as the Tree of Life. It takes about 10 to 12 people to hold their arms around that tree. That tree is 500 plus years old. Yes, I'm gonna send y'all a link to it to go visit it. Hug that tree. That's how you stay young. And when I told some of y'all I was like I'm almost 40. Some of y'all, what? I'm hugging trees, that's what it is. I don't eat processed foods either. Maybe they have something to do with it. I think that's what it is. Yeah. But yeah, hug them trees and get that energy. Now, we're gonna do a cleansing ritual. I want everybody to do me a favor, hold this. Everybody look at your hands. You're gonna be doing the demonstration, so you don't have to look at your hands. Look at your hands. Your hands, you've had them since birth. These are the hands and the reasons why you're able to put your clothes on, why you can eat your food, why you're able to slap somebody who pissed you off, why you Latinos like to have the knives on your body and you can just pull them out of nowhere and put them back and it's okay, nobody can see the knives. These hands are the reasons why you're here. Your hands pick up everything, positive and negative. And before you do any religious activity with us, you have to always cleanse your hands because you need to remove any negativity that you may have on your hands. I'm explaining this scientifically in a minute. Now, what we're going to do to cleanse our hands today over the potomitan is we're going to use a Florida water that I've doctored. Now, you can buy this from Walgreens. Florida water, the football players use it when they get done playing football. They rub it on their muscles. It has menthol in it, and it gives them a cooling sensation. But what y'all don't know is that this is older than the actual company itself, the liquid and stuff. On the plantations and also the indigenous people would always combine herbs with a grain alcohol and part water and use it for blessings and cleansings. We're no exception. They did it in Africa, they did it in the United States before colonization, and believe it or not, Europe as well, if you're familiar with the Celtic people in what we know today as Scotland and Ireland. We still do it. This one here has been prayed over and blessed by my family and also me. I'm a high priest. So what you're going to do is hold your arms over the potomitan. I'm going to put some inside of your hands. What you're going to do is rub your hands together like this to cleanse off all that negative energy, and then you're going to go to breathe in the essential oils that are inside of it. And what that does is cleanse your body inside and out. Scientifically speaking, the alcohol inside of the grain alcohol is killing the bacteria and the viruses on your hands, and the essential oils are forcing your brain to release dopamine and also serotonin, and that makes you feel better. So we're going to cleanse before we go over there and do what we need to do next. But my sister's going to demonstrate right now. Here we go. Rub your hands together. Good. Get all that negativity off, girl. Yeah. Rub it off. Get off me. And then go ahead. She's done this before. You smell it already over there? That's what y'all said? Yeah. So, and that's the ritual. And I knew you were going to be able to do it, and I felt like you needed that. Okay, alrighty. Now, for those of you who choose to participate, you may come do it now. I'm going to squirt a little bit in your hands. And then you two, I have a special thing we got to do for y'all over here. And y'all come on now. Come on now. I need you two right here, though. All right, I need you to.
Yeah.
Hours.
Oh my gosh, she's too cute.
Now, every last one of you can go home and tell your families you practice a little voodoo while y'all was in New Orleans. Make your bowl of popcorn and sit back and watch them freak out. And then when they get there freaking out, you can tell them the truth behind what we actually are. Any questions?
No, that was awesome.
All right, we need to go see the lay of the land, and I can go ahead and put my mom. Where's she at? Mama. Oh, there she is. Put mama to work. We got to put her to work. Come on over here. Because the Native Americans used to use this land that y'all see here to harvest their own corn and do their own religious activities, like I said. Now, they can't escape the Africans. When they hopped on and came over here, they have nowhere to go. They're surrounded by 3 bodies of water. Lake Pontchartrain, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Mississippi River. Where they gonna go? There's 30 miles of water in every direction except for one, south, which is thousands of miles of water. So all they had to their devices was their religion, which the slave owner couldn't take away from them, and also to grow plants on Sunday in order to feed their babies. That's that one opportunity they got on Sunday to see their children. They grew corn, which y'all know came from Mexico. Watermelon, a lot of people don't know that came from Ethiopia. They found the ancient root of the plant and everything there. But the last crop, without this one crop, you don't have one of our most very famous dishes, okra. Y'all realize it ain't gumbo unless it got the okra in there, right? It ain't gumbo unless it got the okra. I think y'all call it soup. Or stew. Let me call it soup or stew. Y'all know what the word gumbo mean? Okra. Who said that? All right, mama. That's why I can't be gumbo unless it got the okra in there, because the word gumbo is Creole for the actual plant. The more you know. Okay, here's the setup. It's hot, it's nasty, it ain't raining 3 weeks, and the crops are done, and we need wind and rain. Back then they didn't have anything they can plug into the wall and filter out water, and there was definitely no faucets back then in the 1700s and the 1800s. So of course they did voodoo rituals out here to ask God to bring wind and rain to get the crops spared. That's the position I'm putting us in, and that's gonna involve one woman here inside the family. Well, mama, I keep losing track of mama. Come on over here, mama. Now, mama, I want you to choose one woman in this family to come stand by your side. Hint, hint, hint. Oh, hint, hint. Come on. Both of you ladies are very significant. Here's the head two voodoo queens here inside the family. We're gonna clap it up.
Woo! Yeah, go mama!
Yeah, you know I was gonna do this for you. You had that spirit when you walked up on this tour today. I knew it already when she was walking up. Head voodoo queens means they're gonna be the head voodoo priestesses in this family. And I don't want any of you women in this family who identify as such. And let me repeat that again to piss off the trans folks, because we're gonna talk about that. I don't want any of you women in this family who identify as such to get confused. All of you are voodoo queens, because these two put you through the rites and the rituals, and you took your vows to this gorgeous lady. And as saying the religion, they made your heads. We believe, you three, we believe the spirit sits on top of your head, known as a met-tet. That translates to head spirit. We're gonna talk about yours, and we're gonna talk about yours and yours in a few minutes. Men were known as voodoo doctors. That's what you call a voodoo priest. We don't get the royal title the way that the ladies do. Why is that? Thank you, Harvard University, for this 10-year study. Thank you. But Dita, listen to this good, okay? This is science, because they can sound like an opinion, but I promise you it's not opinion, it's science. Scientifically speaking, when a woman's in charge of a relationship or a situation, the relationship will last longer and the situation most likely end positive. That's science. That's not an opinion. There's 10 years of data on that research by both men and women alike. They did it together. Happy wife, happy life. I said what I said. And that's not an opinion. That's actual data on that. You got a power, honey. Remember I told you to wake up with magical powers? When you wake up tomorrow, your magical power is being a woman. Yes. All right. That was good, huh? That was good. We got the science to prove that, by the way. So when you wake up and say, my magical power is that I'm a woman, you tell everybody that, because we got data on that, baby. Now, here's the deal. You two didn't elevate yourself to high priestess. The family did that because you two have the most knowledge about our culture and our religion, and have been teaching some of us since we were children how to worship God and honor the spirit in ceremony. And even though they may not be older than everybody here, we're going to call these two ladies one thing. Mama! You may not give birth to us physically, you gave birth to us spiritually. That's equally as important. Why two ladies? Because God forbid one of them gets sold to a plantation. God forbid one of them become a permanent house slave. One will take the other's place, then choose another voodoo queen in line to train. And then that cycle continues from there. And even then, let's say we still have both of them. She can still choose another queen to train. She can still choose another queen to train. Once they're trained, they can choose another queen to train. That's how the religion has lasted from the 1700s all the way to 2023. It was all thanks to women, specifically Black and Latino women mostly, talking to each other, preserving the traditions, because it was illegal for them to read or write back then, all the way up to 2023 when I was born, and I'm able to share it with you guys. So y'all can please thank a Black woman or Latina for their hard work that they've done today at some point. I just want to throw that out there. Now, here's the deal. We got an issue. It's hot, it's nasty, it ain't raining 3 weeks, the crops are down, and we need some wind and rain. Do we have y'all permission to do this voodoo ritual? All right, that's gonna bring us to the next thing. But first, it's time for me to piss some of y'all off before we enter sacred ground. Why did I say women who identify as such? You ready? I'm about to piss them off, I'm about to piss them off. Woo, this is gonna be good, okay. Because the idea of hating anyone because of their sexuality and their gender did not start until 350 plus years ago. What do we know happened 350 years ago? Europeans started colonizing indigenous people. That was never a thing in history. And if you don't believe me, look up the Romans. I said what I said. Whenever you hate someone because of their sexuality and their gender, I'm telling you right now, and you can be mad at me all you want. You can take it out on my tips. You're no better than a French Catholic slave owner. That's what you are. All right, I'm done.
Amen.
I said what I said. I think I pissed off the right people.
Preach.
Shall we go to the sacred tree?
Yes.
Let us be all.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you were sitting down.